just gonna do this while I talk because it feels good. I have I want to say hip problems and that I don't use them enough. And I think that's a problem with a lot of people, especially in CrossFit. Is great program, it's still being underutilized as far as, I think bodies are so imbalanced now that when we're trying to use total body all the time like we are in CrossFit, we don't know how. So cues like tall chest or weight in your heels, great cues to a good athlete or one that's familiar with how the body works, but for those that are new, and I've been seeing a lot in one of the gyms I coach at, really brand new athletes who haven't done anything in a long time. And if you fall into that category, get your butts in here because we got you. Like I was saying before, it's gotta be, you gotta balance the body out first. Before you start talking total body, you gotta balance it out, and an athlete should have an awareness of how to move properly. Even more so than being taught in CrossFit, in my experience. So with that being said, come in here and let me get you ready for CrossFit, because for general physical preparedness, being good at life and life skills, there's nothing better than traditional CrossFit. Constantly varied, functional movements at a high intensity. But if you can't get in good position for that high intensity, it's not doing you any good. You're pulling yourself further out of position. You're working muscles that don't need to be worked, or don't need to be worked in the capacity that they are, making up for other ones that are weaker. And that's a problem. That drives you away from CrossFit. You could make it a couple years like I did and feel great, and then all of a sudden it all compiles and you get injured. And it turns out it's gonna be a series of small injuries or small lapses in form that lead up to a major one, and it puts you out for a long time. So that's what we want to avoid. That's where I come in. That's my background. Moved not as perfectly as I should or as virtuously as I should in CrossFit starting out, and pushed too hard, and that's where I am today. And I believe I was put on that path for a reason, and that's to help you make it through to CrossFit so that you can move yourself the right way for as long as you possibly can. And that's my goal for you, is longevity, happiness and longevity, and health and wealth with an H in there, a silent H. Because you could have all the money in the world, but it doesn't mean anything if you can't be around to enjoy it or to share it with others and to feel good all the time, health-wise. So that's what wealth means to me, and that's what I want you to have, is all the wealth in the world.